We got the Zaccharie Risacher breakout game. 33 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 2 blocks, plus 14. I thought he was their second best player tonight behind Trae Young and Jalen Johnson. He was everything they hoped for when they drafted him. He was everything that they hoped for when they drafted him tonight. Not a guy that's necessarily going to create shots at this point. I don't know if he self-created a single shot tonight, in all honesty. But he was there as a play finisher, as a cutter, and a guy that drilled threes. He hit 6 for 10 from 3 tonight, got to the line a ton as well, ended up with 9 free throw attempts, only made 5 of them. Again, the shot can kind of flatten out occasionally. But I thought he was awesome. I thought he deserved a shout out here on the show. Let's talk through what made Zaccharie Risacher's breakout game happen here. So we're going to get through this first action here. Ball screen for Dyson Daniels. This is like one of the first possessions. Might actually be the first possession for the Atlanta Hawks. Risacher comes up. Screens away, comes back, drills a 3. I mean, this is awesome. This is the exact idea that you can do with him. Exactly what you can do. He comes up, gets this little down screen from Clint Capella, pump fake, gets it back to Capella, goes and screens away. That gives Daniels the opportunity. The reason you go and screen away here in this set is that you have an opportunity here to get Daniels coming back on like a middle Chicago, middle zoom action where Capella can come back. You can try and get him downhill against Karl Anthony Towns. But instead, Daniels decides to reject. He thinks Josh Hart is overplaying because he thinks Josh Hart or Jalen Brunson, I'm sorry. What happens here is the Knicks screw up this switch between Brunson and Hart. You're going to see both of those players go with Dyson Daniels. And that's going to leave Risacher wide open. He just needs to take advantage of mistakes like that. That's really it. He'll be effective if he can do that. Now we're out in transition. Throws a fun behind the back pass to Dyson Daniels. He has real feel as a passer in transition. It's not always there in the half court yet. Again, he's not really breaking guys down necessarily, but he can pass. He is a good passer. I just kind of put that on there just to showcase that a little bit, that comfort level, that fluidity. Empty side ball screen for Trae Young. That little hesitation there from Trae. And then watch Jalen Johnson here. If I can get the video to work right. Jalen Johnson decides to cut from the top here, letting Dyson go behind. The fact that he cuts right as Trae Young comes off of this screen allows him to essentially be a little screener there onto Anunoby and get Risacher wide open. Risacher drills it. It's the way offense should look. Look at this cut. Just perfect. We'll talk about Towns later. I mean, I just love this. This is fantastic. He gets McHale here. McHale thinks they're coming back up here for a dribble handoff like we saw earlier. But instead, because he's overplaying it, Risacher understands to cut back door. Really, really good effort there from Risacher. Empty ball screen. This is the stuff that he can't quite do yet. And note, he had 33 points despite not being able to do this stuff where he can self-create yet. But this is a small. I understand why he thinks this is a mismatch. match. But this is Deuce McBride. Deuce McBride's an awesome defender. He's physical. He's strong. He just says, get this shit out of here to me at the end of the day. Risacher can't really do that stuff yet. We'll see if it comes. It wasn't really something that he did all that often in France. He was more of a play finisher, a guy who's going to be like a third or fourth guy on the team. But you can score 33 points in a game sometimes doing that. You don't have to always self-create. Here, I loved this defensive play. Still very skinny and still just capable of walling up on Josh Hart, right? Risacher has always been a really active, aggressive defender. Really good on the weak side, typically. Also had some moments guarding perimeter players over in France as well last season. But that's just perfect. That's textbook defense. Doesn't go and get the rebound. Hart's an awesome rebounder, but that's exactly what you want. So here, they just realize early that he's open. Goes up with the left. Really good finish, right? Attacks the closeout from Hart. That's a hard finish. That is terrible rim protection from Towns. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. But really, really good balance, touch through, contact. Really important for Risacher as he continues to develop. Again, nice little jab step, attacks the closeout, gets all the way to the rim, draws a foul. Look, this stuff isn't, rocket science. We're not seeing anything crazy here. Now, I am going to stop for a second here. I mean, we need to see Towns step up here and cut this off. He's guarding Clint Capella, who's all the way out the 3-point line. We'll talk about it in a second. This one, inbounds pass, Risacher, wide open, just calmly drills it. Gets out into the passing lane here, reads the play perfectly, just steps back from beyond the 3-point line. He's feeling it in this game, right? Like he's just feeling himself. Let's get to a quick little note from Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money action. There are over 10 million members. Like I said a second ago, they invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks always puts its members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. We are big fans of Prize Picks here. We absolutely love the app and what they're doing for the daily fantasy sports scene. Download the app today and use code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today and use that code Game Theory to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. This episode of Game Theory is brought to you by BetterHelp. This month is all about gratitude, and there's someone that we don't often think about and thank enough. Ourselves. Sometimes it's hard to remind ourselves that we're trying our best to make sense of everything. Look, in this world, it is not easy. Here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people in your life, and that does include yourself. I'm someone who's absolutely gone to therapy in the past, particularly when I got diagnosed with ADHD. It's helped me immensely to understand myself, understand particularly how to put boundaries up with my interests, how to put boundaries up with work. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/game theory today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/game theory. I loved Dyson Daniels' defense. I didn't think he was quite as good as Amen Thompson was last game, but oh man, was he good in this game. I thought that he got into the weeds with Jalen Brunson as a physical, powerful defender with length that really, really bothered Jalen. That's how you bother Jalen, is you're a little bit bigger and you can get a little bit more physical with him. This one, Jalen just throws right to Risacher, who jumps the passing lane. And Hart decides to stay back, drills it. Risacher here. Or no, that's Jalen Johnson. Goes to get the rebound. I mean, I'm sorry for continuing to take, little drive-bys here, but I mean, get a body on him, dude. Come on. Jalen Johnson's an awesome rebounder. This ball ends up getting out to Risacher eventually off of the rebound. The reason I put this on here, just look at the shot prep. That's what he really, really improved last season, I thought. Look at him. That foot pointed toward the basket. Hands out. Perfect shooting range. Knees slightly bent. Off the hop. Gets into the shot perfectly on balance, right? Straight line. Simple, easy mechanics. Perfect set shot. Makes it super easy for himself. Again, deflection. Up to Dyson Daniels. Dunk. Was active defensively in this game, I thought. Wasn't like a monster defensive game, but was active. Drills another corner three. How does this one happen? This one happens because they put 2 on the ball here. No, it doesn't. How does this one happen? Happens because Towns is nowhere. Why is there in drop? Mikhail's okay. Towns should be over here so that Anunoby does not have to help necessarily. I would guess that they might have been like nexting this a little bit with Trey as a strategy, just because if you don't at least stunt at Trey, he will pull and take this shot here. But because Anunoby has to shoot over here, Trey recognizes that immediately. Trey is a basketball savant. He hits that beautiful little bounce pass to Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson forces the help in from Josh Hart and then drills this pass out to Risacher. But notice Risacher here gets his feet organized behind the 3-point line. Steps right into it. Calmly drills it. Perfect. Early pass there from Trey. Risacher beats Josh Hart that time. It looks like he beats Towns, but he doesn't. He beats Josh Hart to the rim there. Easy tip in. Again, Risacher fighting through actions. They end up peel switching this. Risacher gets stuck on Towns. Here comes Towns. Big physical dude against a rookie. Just stands him up, goes long, blocks the shot. This is fantastic defense against a dude that is 7 foot tall, physical, strong, trying to bully you. Blocks the shot. Fast break goes the other way. That is everything that you could ask for from Zach Risacher defensively. Here we go. Ball screen coming up from Capella. They overplay it a little bit. He throws up like a weird lob pass to Capella because Towns is in no man's land. I swear I was not planning on taking this many drive-bys immediately at Towns. I was planning on doing a whole segment on him. Throws that ball up to Capella. Capella, perfect. Makes it. Risacher is on the baseline, filtering through, gets to the corner. I put this one on here, even though he missed it. If he starts making no dip threes, so catches high, keeps it high, I mean, man, if he can hit those, that'd be huge. That'd be enormous. I mean, the catch high, keep high, man. If he can hit those, he has a lot of upside to be like a serious play finishing third option maybe even like a second option if things really broke right. But like a really, really high end, like big, tall, like Derek Whitey kind of player, different player, but that kind of value. And then this one just rips Josh Hart, gets up there, gets fouled. Here we go with Trae Young attacking Jalen Brunson. They double. He recognizes it. Pump fake, freezes Towns, makes the little floater, ties the game. I mean, this end of game was a disaster for the Knicks, but Risacher, this is a huge game for him. This is exactly what Hawks fans would have hoped for, what Landry Fields, what everyone in that Hawks front office would have hoped for. They were hoping for somebody that could play next to Jalen Johnson as like a playmaker, up and down, in transition, can play next to Trae Young, can be a play finisher, shooting from the corners. This is exactly what they could have hoped for from Risacher. A fantastic game. Fantastic breakout performance. And he's been building for a while. The shot just hasn't fallen yet for Risacher. That's been the big issue to this point. He's only shooting 21% from three. And look, that's a problem. Risacher is a very shooting dependent player. And in general, in France, the shooting was a roller coaster. He had great months, and then he had months where he shot 21% from three. The consistency is going to be the key with him. If he's consistent, he'll be an awesome player.